Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time, I'm going to take a look at some alternative / underground / graphic memoir work here in the pages of American Splendor. Okay, Harvey Pekar was the creator and publisher of the American Splendor comics, and there have been some reprints, some graphic albums like these two here, and this one was a graphic memoir done specifically for this volume. And Harvey, I loved Harvey. He was a hero of mine and a big creative influence. And in fact, he was an influence for some of the creation of my comic book right here, and for another volume I plan on doing later, which will feature some autobiographical stories. But you can get your copy of my book, Bizarre Brain Comics Anthology, which is available on Amazon for $7.99. Some adventure, humor, and some gags. And I'm working on the second volume of some more mainstream stuff. I hope to have it out in later in December or early January. I'm working on it here. You can get a little preview here of the cover design that I'm currently working on. And so then we go to American Splendor. Of course, this was anything but mainstream comics, and it wasn't exactly like most underground comics either. But it was all autobiographical, and many of Harvey's characters in his stories became celebrities in their own right. American Splendor is, of course, it's a series of autobiographical comic book stories written and published by Harvey Pekar. The first issue was published in 1976. It was irregularly published until 2010 with Harvey's death. Besides being self-published, it was later published by Dark Horse and DC Comics, and that made it easier for Harvey when all he had to do was write the stories, and the publishers would assign the artists and publish the book, and he didn't have to do it out of his own pocket. And it got wider distribution that way too. And in 2003, a film version of American Splendor was released. And prior to that, in the 90s, a stage play was written and produced on various stages. Not a big production. And of course, the movie was interspersed with segments of the real people, Harvey, his wife, and some of the real life characters that are in the story, in the book, or in the movie rather. And it was fairly well received, at least critically. I don't know how well it did, because it's a smaller independent film. But I love it. And it even used some actual footage from the David Letterman show, because Harvey became a celebrity in his own right on the David Letterman stage. Harvey Pekar, he was from 1939 to 2010. He was an American underground and independent comic book writer and publisher, as well as a music critic and media personality. And he was from a Jewish background, although I think he was atheist or agnostic. And He's best known for his self-published autobiographical magazine, American Splendor. He has been described as the poet laureate of Cleveland, and he helped establish a positive perception of graphic novels, although in his case, it was, they were graphic memoirs. And he has received many awards for his work: the Inkpot Award, American Book Award, a Harvey Award, and a posthumous Eisner Award Hall of Fame induction, that would be. And I thought of something and then I forgot what it was. Doggone it. And he worked with a myriad of artists. But the best known, and I think the first artist he used was, and who was also the inspiration for him doing the comics in the first place, was Robert Crumb. And this particular volume here was published in 1986, and with a cover by Crumb, and there was a companion to it about the same time. I think I've got it. I think it's out in the garage, along with the other one. And I have a whole bunch of the original issues through the 80s from when Harvey published them. But there was a companion volume that was in which all the artwork was Crumb art, and it was called I think Harvey and Bob's Cleveland or something like that. And then I have another volume here, is the New American Splendor anthology, again with the same stuff, except this has got a cover by Drew Friedman, who is well known for his pointillism, his stippling, some great portraits and caricatures. And then the third volume I have over here is American Splendor, Our Movie Year. And we'll take just a brief look through some of these. I'm not even going to try to cover the stories, but it's an introduction by Crumb, handwritten, and you can see Crumb's stuff here, right here, and Harvey wrote it, and it's just a talking head. Guy standing there talking. Pages, just pages, and panel after panel. And yet Crumb makes it interesting. There's some more of the young Crumb stories. This has several Crumb stories in it. And this reflects how he and Crumb met. Harvey and Bob met and stuff, and various other things. So it looks a lot like Crumb's own autobiographical stuff. There's still some more Crumb, but it diverges. Here we have this is I think Greg Budget and Gary Dumb, I think, and it doesn't matter. Just a whole variety of all stories from his life and his work. And he also has done some, as I said, he was a music critic, and had some articles published in some jazz magazines. And he wrote a couple of things that illustrated things that were biographical of specific characters. And it was the music interests that they both had is how Harvey and Bob met and got to know each other to begin with. So there's a lot of Crumb in there. There's Gary Shamray. It's a wide variety of art styles and different kinds of stuff. The stories are longer, and it takes him through a divorce with his life with and divorce with a wife back in the 70s, all the way up to when he his publication was instrumental in him meeting his last wife, who he was with for many years, and they got engaged when they first met. Of course, they had been corresponding for months or years before, and this one is very similar, and probably some some duplication. He also had suffered from cancer and had a cancer scare. He was he and his wife worked together on a graphic memoir of what they called Our Cancer Year, just the year of from diagnosis to I don't want to say cure. Oh, there's some real interesting you don't see very often. When he beat cancer, and that was we just passed when there. Yeah, there's a whole page. And that's got to be an bajillion. Of course, that's the one that does not want to open. Drew Friedman, bajillions of little dots, but it's so realistic. And his artists worked from a plethora of photographic reference, because Harvey would take a lot of photographs of people, so he could his artists could work. And then here, this is not a single story, but a bunch of stories from the year that the movie was being made, mostly relating to, but not exclusively related to, the production of that film. And it's some really, really great stuff. He is, as I said, he's a big influence on me and some friends of mine, and I'm sure a whole lot of other people out there. And I've got as I said, I have a whole bunch of the original magazines, and I'll probably cover one of those some other time. So, but that is what I've got this time. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe, and do check out some American Splendor if you have never read it. Have you read it? Are you familiar with Harvey Pekar? Have you read any of his stories? Read any of his articles? Have you watched the movie? Anything like that, let me know in the comments below. And remember, comics are